I don't want to get married.
This is what I've been waiting for.
You can't see my dad. So much differences between our families.
He asked me to be his wife.
I'm like, what?
We met on TikTok. All of this happened while I'm in South Africa, he's in Kenya. I resonated with what he was teaching and I asked for his guidance.
I'd taken a break for a while to do research on society, the universe, how it works, energy, manifestation. I was writing books on the same, but the books are not published. So I thought maybe the quicker way of sharing my thoughts on TikTok. I never used to respond to people on social media, but one morning I just woke up and decided to go through the comments, and I saw a comment and she had requested, will you please teach me everything from scratch? And I think it was a unique comment.
It moved quite slowly because we communicated on TikTok for a very long time. Even when we had established some sort of a romantic relationship, we were still on TikTok. Maybe a month after, he called me for the first time and he asked me to be his wife.
You know, we were having chats, but for me it was strictly work. I asked her about why would she love to change, but I never asked her about her relationships. We started now to chat more. She said she has had desires, things that she would love to do, and she doesn't know where to begin from. That's where I took a U-turn, because even my family, I told them I don't want to get married. I want to take care of my son, Maverick and Lynn. I want to work on very important things. They will not just help me, they will help my kids, they will help even other African children who are going to be born after us. So when we talked about her desire, she mentioned her desire to honor her father. I think that's what made me change my mind about, dating again. And I've never had someone mention a desire. I thought she would say, I would love to go to Maldives. I would love to build a house, but the house was not there. Money was not there. I desire true love. I desire to have a child again. So those desires, they are the ones I think they resonated well with what I wanted. And then I told her, it's very simple. If you have had desires, if you walk next to me, they will just happen. What got me attracted to her was there was a level of honesty, the authenticity in how she was expressing her desires, because when she sent me the response on the heart desires, I didn't want to respond to it because I thought she's now engaging me from a different level than what I'm doing on social media. I'm here to share my spiritual journey with my viewers, my followers, but now when she started talking, I went off, did some work, and I thought, no, let me be a gentleman. Maybe let me just go back and respond to them.
What attracted me, the idea of a man like him. While he was still my teacher, it was an opportunity for me to be vulnerable to someone without judgment. And in the same process, he was doing the same. We didn't have any intentions that we eventually be together. He was also vulnerable and honest to me for the sake of helping me to get through whatever I was going through. We were both naked in a sense, and that to me was what attracted me, a pure man. That was the perfect man for me. When he called, he just said, hello, would you be my wife? And then I just said yes. There was no hesitation. I just knew that, this is what I've been waiting for.
I was planning how to propose to her the first time she sent me the phone out. And I have to do it so that I know from what point, with respect to her, because I didn't even expect her to say yes. But she said yes 5 times and I almost threw away my phone. I had taken a break from my previous marriage. That was almost 2 years. Try to clean also my thoughts so that in case you meet someone new, you don't have to come with all those baggage, and also maybe make the same. And I know this time now, I understand who God is, where God is. This type of a woman has come into my life. I knew this is the angel God has sent to me.
Our first meeting was at JKIA, Jomo Kenyatta Airport when I arrived in Nairobi. For me, it was probably different for me than him, because if you look at the video, or my experience of it, he was in shock. For me, I was just excited to finally see him.
I was absent the entire time. I didn't know how or what I'll do because I will go to the airport and she's not there, and I think the flight delayed. So when I met her, for me, I was surprised to find out that it's the same person I've been talking to. It was one unbelievable move, and for me that meant that she would love also to be part of this story, and we chase it and we make a follow-up. We see how it can change our lives, and maybe those we are connected to. I never knew it would come to a huge following on social media as well.
My biggest culture shock was the toilets, because they're completely different. It has no toilet seat. The nightlife is another one. Entrepreneurship culture, the hustle culture is a shock to me, that at 3 a.m. in the morning, the streets are still alive. Hustle is on.
My number one culture shock was, previously I was the one to travel to come to South Africa. She had mentioned to me, even if you come, you can't see my dad. You will not talk even to my mom. Here our culture doesn't allow. There's a procedure, you have to write a letter. I'm like, what? I thought the letter was a joke thing until she travels to Kenya and she's supposed to come and see her dad and let her dad know what's going on. And I'm writing the letter, and the supermarket, I don't know what was going on. There were no envelopes. I wish I took 3 months to write that letter. Dad would think this is not a serious man for my daughter. But Dad read it, and I don't know how the underground gang talked to him, and he read the letter, and I got the response, and he said he's inviting us to come to KZN in October. Another culture shock, public transport here in South Africa, it has timings. There is no motorbiking. Another culture shock here is the cows. Those are the most indigenous cows you can ever come across without ropes. It's like if you leave it, someone will steal it. You won't find it. They go the whole day. I am watching them. I'm like, can I go just take care of them then? And then they roam around. 6 p.m. They were walking back, and I sat there and I was like, I want to live here. This is how cows should live. No one shouting at them, no bells. One of also the biggest culture shocks I've come across is the amount of love that South Africans have. One of the biggest things I've watched here is people speaking mother tongue. Most of our tribes, our kids speaking Cocomelon. But here, children, however much they also speak English, Afrikaans, children speak Zulu, Nkosa. That is the most beautiful thing you can ever. That shows unity.
How I've navigated through the language barrier, it was difficult at first. I went through all those phases of anxiety of watching them speak the language and thinking they are talking about me. Auntie spoke the mother tongue Luya, the local language, and then there's Swahili, which my children and Madarako speak to me. They will help me out by translating, but Maverick wouldn't, and that helped me to learn quicker.
On my part, I didn't know my wife was having a hard time navigating the language barrier until I landed and now went to a village where everyone now is speaking isiZulu. So my plans, even before traveling, I started learning isiZulu.
Of my family and friends, to me introducing Madaraka to them, at first, Asanda is my younger sister. When I introduced him, she thought that he was a cult leader until she got to watch his videos. Once they got to know him, obviously he's the most amazing person. The first supporters, they are twins, my sisters. With my mom, the first big introduction, we were scared, obviously, because at that time, we had already decided that I was coming to Kenya. Because I couldn't come to my dad, we had to get my mom on our side. He made a video introducing himself to my mom. It was so sincere, authentic, and so pure that my mom instantly, she was okay, because I had spoken about him. She thought I was crazy. And Billy, my son, it took a while We introduced right at the end, just before I was about to leave. He knew what was going on, but I didn't want to just, throw him into everything. But he wants me to be happy.
Introducing her to my family, I think to my aunt was easy. This is my best friend now because the only person I talk to about spirituality. But for my mom,
he had not video called me before. Mom video called instantly.
Yeah.
She wanted to see if this woman was real. She just kept saying, "Oh, we love you," and she just wanted me to always to feel loved, which I appreciated so much. The kids are already calling me mommy, mommy. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. I was scared to even think of her traveling to come, leave alone me traveling to come to South Africa, because there was so much differences between our families.
Navigating a blended family, it was never a challenge for me. I was scared to introduce myself to the children. When I heard Maverick's voice calling me mom, everything went away. I could feel how genuine it was. There was so much love in it. I instantly went into the mom position. It just happened naturally, and the love between us and the connection, it was so real. When it comes to the children, introducing the children to each other, we have not reached like an official introduction where they meet. It hasn't been possible, but they do talk over video calls. We can do with the relationship between the children for now until we can spend time together. In terms of which culture we are going to embrace, we are going to embrace both cultures. We're gonna bring them together because we are all Bantu, and we're gonna find that point where we come together and raise our children that way, to know that we are Bantu people. We will find a way to be able to communicate, even using both our languages at the same time.
Yeah.
We can sort of be an example of how we can bring Bantu people back together again and raise our children as Bantu instead of East African or Zulu and Luya, just Bantu.
It is not common in Kenyan culture to pay lobola. The first visit can come for a cup of tea or have some food, some lunch, introduce each other, where do you come from? Then you can agree now, when are you coming to officially discuss about lobola, about payment. But when I came to Zulu culture, the first time you talk to the parents, you have to present a letter, and then when you come in to visit, you must have a representative. For me, I think I've learned so much from it because it also has a way of guarding your boundaries, so that before someone can get inside of you, they have a fence. There's a boundary they cross before you can now come in and be part of this family. We got to a place where the community is coming to a point where some things have changed. For us also to try and combat gender-based violence, we will have to approach marriage as something that is two families uniting. It's not like we are selling our daughter or we are offering our daughter away and she's no longer part of us.
My least favorite thing about my husband is how he eats something and then he drinks the juice like a child. And they take a bite and then they'll take the juice. He was about to dip. We were sharing a cup of tea and the bread is got like peanut butter.
Yeah.
And he's eating and he's about to dip. I'm like, what? After he dipped, I'd be watching if he's gonna dip in his tea. Then I noticed that when he eats something, no matter what it is, he will have the soda with it and the juice. I'm most grateful that we are together now. We made it. I'm most grateful for my children, the choices that we made. Some of them were not easy because of people, they project their fear. And when you decide something, I decided because I didn't have any fear. I trusted. You can't travel, you can't trust this man, don't know him. You can't just go to Kenya, you're gonna get there, they're gonna abduct you. I'm so grateful that I decided to listen to myself, and now I have an amazing husband, I have beautiful children.
I'm grateful that I get to learn more about marriage by being in this position as the husband to my wife. I'm grateful that I had to meet one of the wisest men also. I never knew her dad is into spirituality too. And I'm grateful for the people we've met. And probably if we will have not made the decisions we made, we will have not probably met like our beautiful mom here. And I'm grateful for the journey we've had so far.